Hi everyone, hope you're all doing great. My name's Kristen and you're watching the Dahlia Society. If you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you for joining in. If you haven't already subscribed and you don't want to miss out on any new episodes, why not think about subscribing, hit that little button and the notification bell will alert you to any new episodes that I have coming out, which is usually twice a week. I've got plenty to share with you today. A lot of new patterns have come out over the past few weeks. A lot of you would have already seen, maybe a couple there that you haven't. And I always like to bring out these episodes at least once a month to show you all and inspire you. And I know myself, I love it when I see new patterns. It really does help motivate me, give me a little bit of sewing inspiration if you're stuck in a rut at all and you're finding it very hard to get that sojo happening. Hopefully today there'll be a great pattern here, and there's quite a lot here for all seasons. Now, I know last year I asked everyone if you're quite happy for me to keep sewing my own season, because I know a lot of you guys are in the Northern Hemisphere that watch, and a lot of us here in Australia and New Zealand find that we don't have a lot of YouTube sewing inspiration. I have got a lot of viewers that watch from the Northern Hemisphere that I know you are in freezing conditions at the moment. A lot of you are experiencing snow. Here in Australia, especially here in Victoria, we've had a lot of hot days, a lot of 38 to 40 degree days. It's cooled down really nicely today. We've had a bit of rain. So, and I know sort of once it starts heading towards February, I like to kind of investigate what I might want to be planning to sew for maybe the autumn season, even though it's quite warm here right up till about April. I kind of like to try and maybe make a few little tentative plans, look at some new fabrics and see what's coming out for the new season as far as colours and prints and a little bit of fashion inspiration. Before I go any further, the top I'm wearing today is my beautiful Lady McElroy Cobra Corsage fabric I've had in my stash for a few months now. I decided to make the Helens Closet Ashton top with the sleeve expansion. So you might be all familiar with the Ashton top being just a lovely little boxy style sleeveless top. She's brought out the expansion pack to add on to it. It's got the sleeves that you can either go for the tulip style sleeve, which is what I've got here. It also comes in a flutter sleeve, a longer sleeve and a short sleeve as well. So you can, and it's got patch pockets as well on the front, so you can really do a lot of different sort of elaborating on the pattern that you've already got. If you've made it before, you'll know it's a fantastic style, sleeveless style shift kind of top with a lovely deep facing on the hem. So I'm really happy with how it's come up. I've made the size 14 with a simple binding neckline on this one. Let's get into it with the new patterns. It's very exciting. There's quite a few to get through. Firstly, there's one that was just released a couple of days ago here, Helens Closet. A lot of you guys love her patterns. They Helen and Carolyn have the very famous podcast Love to Sew. They are currently on a little bit of a break. They are starting to do seasonal series. I think that'll be really exciting to see what they come up with. So Helen's brought out a brand new pattern. It's a gender neutral or unisex pattern, and it's called the Jackson Pullover and Tee. So you'll see there's a variety of either t-shirt weather or long sleeve. I think this is very exciting to have a gender neutral pattern. I think a lot of you guys are going to really love the simplicity of this and just the fit in general. And she's actually got quite a few new tutorials coming out on her Instagram if you haven't followed along with her there. She has a lot of great photo shoots and a lot of sewing tutorials and inspiration. So sizes come in sizes 0 to 30. So if you're maybe wanting to sew something up for you and for your partner, I think it'll be a fantastic pattern to suit a lot of people. One of my favourite pattern companies has come out with a brand new cardigan pattern, and that is True Bias, and they've released the Marlowe sweater cardigan. So last week I actually had an episode with my favourite cardigans, and this actual pattern got released the day I brought that episode out. So unfortunately I didn't get to put it in the episode, but I think it looks like a fantastic pattern, and it looks very similar to one of the, I think it was the ready to sew patterns I had featured there, but it comes in a couple of different lengths as well. So she's got the cropped version and the long version, but the bonus with the True Bias Marlowe cardigan is it does come in a lot of different size ranges. The Marlowe comes in 0 to 18, and then I think it's 18 to 30. So it's fantastic that they're including a lot of these new size ranges in their brand new patterns when they're released as well. So I love the fact that it's chunky and it's got a casual feel, but it's very cozy as well. So you can really maybe do a feature like a bright button there. And if you wanted to do things like different trims, I think this is the perfect cardigan to showcase all of that. Now, Starlark have come out with the Emerson Dress sizes 4 to 30. I love Starlark patterns. I know a lot of you do too. This dress is a little bit reminiscent of the maybe the Mysotis dress from Deer and Doe. It's one of those really classic style, almost like a tunic-y style with the gathered skirt. I love that kind of mandarin collar as well. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully making one of these up for the future. Every time I've made a Starlight pattern, I've loved the drafting, and the fit for me is spot on perfect. So I've got no complaints. I know that a lot of you guys have said that sometimes the instructions can be a little bit lacking if you're a beginner sewist, but I think they are starting to develop a bit more on that. And they also have a lot of great tutorials on their website too that you can follow along with. A lot of sew along and techniques as well. Also released a new coat called the Petra coat. So that looks like a lovely, simple, sort of cozy style, maybe coatigan style jacket as well. So over at Patterns, very popular pattern company. I know a lot of you would have seen that they had the Lunar pajamas come out over Christmas time. That look like a beautiful crossover, like kimono style top, and then the bottoms, and they're in a woven. You can do them in a really cozy style woven, or maybe something a bit lighter like a cotton lawn. I think they look stunning. And so over at Patterns, come from sizes 6 to size 30. They've also released a brand new shift dress called the Selma shift dress, and that is a lovely simple style sweater shift dress. You can do it in things like more like a stable knit or a sort of heavyweight sweatshirting, things like ponte knits as well. So I think this would be a great cozy style sweater dress for everyone in the cooler seasons at the moment. 2 different necklines. You've got your round neck and your V-neck as well. So really simple little shift style sweater dress, but I think you can never have enough sweater dress patterns. They are so versatile to wear all year round, especially layered with leggings and tights. A lot of you guys love Cashmere patterns. They are a fantastic pattern company that are a plus size. If you guys, any of you got the Upton dress, you may be interested to know there is an expansion pack that has come out that gives you so many different varieties you can add onto this particular dress. There are different bodice and different necklines. For example, there are not just the darts, but also the princess seam now. Also the necklines, you can go for a round V or a square neckline, which is really stunning on as well. What's also exciting is the different sleeve versions. So now you have the option of having a cap sleeve, a flutter sleeve, or a longer style sleeve as well. So I think that's fantastic. So Cashmere patterns come from sizes 12 to sizes 32. They also offer cup sizes, which I know a lot of you love these. But that's one thing that really bugs you about finding a wonderful pattern and not having that cup size option there. You'll be happy to know that they have either C to D, E to F, or G to H cup sizes, which is really fantastic because it alleviates the problem of having to do a full bust adjustment, which is a bit more work. So I think it's great to have that all done for you. A really popular book that's been released, I know a lot of you would have seen, people like Karina on Lifting Pins and Needles has done quite a few of these particular patterns, and that's the Kenneth Wong book, So Beautiful, from Itch to Stitch Patterns. You may be familiar with Kenneth Wong. She's brought out a brand new book that has quite a few patterns in there. There's some beautiful patterns there. I think you'll be really happy to know that book has been released, so you're available to order now. A lot of those patterns are going to be great little versatile patterns to have in your stash. Now, So Different Patterns, a very, very popular little pattern company, have come out with a beautiful Eclipse dress. This is like a bubble style tunic dress with a kind of a asymmetrical stitching down the front. It can be made in either stable knits or stable jerseys and woven fabrics too. So I think these dresses are really comfortable and very handy to have in the wardrobe. And I know a lot of you are big fans of The Queen's Gambit, which is a Netflix series. A lot of you guys have told me after my episode, which I was asking for advice on Netflix series, a lot of you had watched The Queen's Gambit and absolutely loved the fashion and just how wonderful it is just to showcase all those 60s styles in one program. You'd be really happy to know that the So Different Pattern Company have come out with a whole Queen's Gambit collection. There is a Moscow dress, there's a Gambit dress, there is also the Harmon tee and a Sicilian top. So there's 4 different patterns there, all showcasing that kind of aesthetic that's in the Queen's Gambit series with all those beautiful 60s fashions. So I think a lot of you will be very happy to go and look on So Different's pattern website and see exactly how beautiful she's really put into that pattern envelope. You can see the styling, a lot of effort's gone in there to try and resemble some of those looks that you might see in the Queen's Gambit series. And So Different Patterns come from sizes 8 to sizes 26. Love Notions came out with a brand new robe for Christmas time. That's the Compose robe. Comes in 2 different lengths. You can do it in knit or in woven. There is also the option to do a children's wear style robe in the same pattern as well. So I think you can never have enough robe style, cozy, comfy knit patterns and woven patterns to have in the wardrobe. I think it's just a lovely thing to be able to either sew for yourself or maybe for someone else. Love Notions come from sizes extra small to 5 extra large. I always get excited when I see Friday Pattern Company have released a new pattern, and they've released a fantastic nod to the 80s film Heathers that you may remember had Winona Ryder in it. The Heather blazer I think you're going to love because it's really been styled beautifully in a lot of tweeds and tartans. It's a cozy oversized blazer as well, and it's really great because it's size inclusive. I think extra small to 7 extra large in that particular pattern. So I think a lot of you are going to be really thrilled to look at that pattern and just to see, as I say, the styling. It really tends to look back to the 80s. Those kind of long beatnik style tartan and tweed blazers were very in fashion. A lot of the double-breasted varieties were as well. So I think it's really exciting to see them. Yeah, I think it's great when jackets come out because jackets are such a versatile garment to make and to have in your wardrobe. And there is no better pattern company than Friday Pattern Company for taking you through from start to finish with a pattern. They really do have fantastic instructions and a lot of different information. I love sewing their patterns. I just think Chelsea does a fantastic job with that. And all of their patterns actually do donate to various charities as well. So if you wanted to go and look on their website, you'll see each pattern, a percentage of which profit goes towards these particular charities. So I think that's fantastic that she's done that. Nina Lee has come out with the Bakerloo blouse and dress, which is really another nod to the 80s. Sizes 6 to 20. It's got a fantastic oversized collar. A lot of you are loving the dramatic sleeve. It's also got that, but the dramatic collar I think is one thing I do remember being maybe about 12 or 13 and having pastel sort of knitwear with the big collar underneath with the frill. That was a really big thing back in the maybe sort of early 80s. I just think it's all coming back around again, but I think this is it's a beautiful, it's not for everyone, but I think it's a beautiful style if you're wanting to make a big impact. Anything to do with the 80s is coming back. We all know the big statement puff sleeves. I didn't think they'd ever come back in, but they've really taken off well and everyone's embraced and loved having a big statement sleeve. So now we're looking at collars. I think they're going to be big for this next season. So yeah, the Nina Lee Bakerloo blouse or dress, you can see it's been styled beautifully on the pattern envelope. So you're thinking light to medium weight wovens, things like cotton lawns I think would be beautiful, even things like a rayon. But if you wanted a bit more structured and a bit more sort of out there, think about those sort of cotton, more structured cotton lawns. I think it worked really well with having that frill, but not too bulky. You've got to imagine when you're making that frill around the collar, you don't want it to be sort of sticking up to sort of springy. I think a nice soft cotton lawn would do really well with that particular style blouse. Another beautiful blouse that's been released too is the Celia Blouse from Cotton and Thread, sizes 0 to size 22. This is a very similar style blouse, a little bit more fitted with buttons at the front, a lovely angled style collar as well. It's also got the option of having more of just a plain V-neck without the collar, but I love the puff sleeves on this. I think that looks beautiful the way they've styled it. It's really one that I'd think about doing for maybe autumn, winter time. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that today. Just a few new patterns here to give you a little teaser and maybe get some inspiration happening. I think it's really great to see some patterns being released and just to see what's popular and what's trending for the next few seasons. It's always nice to have a bit of a look at that. If you've enjoyed this episode today, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and that helps other sewers and like-minded people in the community find my channel. And I just want to say thank you all for watching, for your fantastic comments every week as well. Keep safe, keep sewing, and bye for now.